Hello and welcome to the course, and we are looking at psychometry and air conditioning. In today's lecture we are going to look at salient features of psychometric chart, which is also called as P chart, followed by different types of psychometric processes. Just before we proceed with the psychometry chart, let's recall what we have studied in our previous class. In the previous class we were looking at what is psychometry, and we understood that psychometry deals with the study of moist air and the properties of moist air. So in the atmosphere we have a dry air, and also we have some amount of water vapor, and combination of dry air and the water vapor we call it as a mixture. In other words, we call it as moist air. So psychometry is a study of properties of moist air. So we know that engineers are concerned with applications like heating, cooling, ventilation, heating, so on. So the psychometry is very useful in those aspects. And the properties related to dry air, one can state them as a partial pressure of air and volume of air, mass of air. Corresponding to the vapor, one can express it as shown here, and the mixture of these two, dry air and the water vapor, one can express as a partial pressure of the mixture is equal to pressure related to air and the partial pressure related to vapor. Likewise for the volume and mass. In the last class we looked at different properties of moist air: dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature, and we know that using sling psychometer one can find out what is the dry bulb temperature, one can find out the wet bulb temperature, and dew point temperature is something which we have studied looking at TS plot. So we have a TS plot here, and the given moisture sample is in the superheated region, and when we cool this sample of moisture at constant pressure condition, we know that when the sample of moisture, when it approaches the saturated vapor curve, a formation of dew takes place, and the corresponding temperature is called as a dew point temperature. And the difference between the dry bulb temperature, which is given here as a T1, minus the dew point temperature, is called as dew point depression. Likewise the relative humidity. Relative humidity is defined as a ratio of actual mass of water vapor to the mass of saturated vapor produced in a mixture of air and water vapor at the same temperature and pressure. So it is denoted as shown here as a mass of vapor to that of saturated mass of vapor, and using PV is equal to MRT equation one can replace mass with pressures, and it is represented in terms of percentage. Now looking at the next parameter, that is W or omega, which is called as a specific humidity, which is a ratio of mass of vapor to that of mass of dry air. The unit is kg of vapor to that kg of dry air. So in popular this is denoted as a kg, expressed as kg per kg of dry air. Now the other parameter is saturation ratio or degree of saturation, which is given here as a ratio of actual humidity ratio to the humidity ratio of saturated air at the same temperature and total pressure. So the equation is shown here. Moving further, let us now look at psychometry chart, and this psychometry chart is expressed at the 1 atmospheric pressure, which is equivalent to 760 mmHg, and we see that the psychometry chart has x-axis. Along x-axis we have a dry bulb temperature, and the values are increasing in nature from left end to the right end, and likewise on the y-axis we have specific humidity or absolute humidity or humidity ratio in terms of kg per kg of dry air, and this also is in the increasing trend from lower end to the far end. And then we see that along this dry bulb temperature we have these vertical lines, and these vertical lines indicates constant dry bulb temperature lines, and this dry bulb temperature one can find out from sling psychometer. Likewise, we have the horizontal lines. These horizontal lines indicate constant absolute humidity or constant specific humidity values. And then we have the downhill slant lines as shown here. These indicates wet bulb temperature in degrees Celsius. And beyond this we also have steeper downhill lines here as shown here, and these are called as constant specific volume lines in terms of meter cube per kg. Beyond this we have one saturation line here which corresponds to saturated vapor curve, and along this curve the relative humidity is 100%, and we see that we have constant relative humidity lines all the way one after the other. So we see that as we move far end from this saturation line, the relative humidity value keeps decreasing. So beyond this we also see that we have another scale here which is an enthalpy scale, kilojoule per kg basis, and these enthalpy graduations they are in parallel with the wet bulb temperature lines. So from this we understand that given a sample of moist air, by knowing the dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature, one can fix the state of moisture on this P chart, and by fixing the state of moist air one can extract the other property values in terms of relative humidity, specific volumes, wet bulb temperature, and the enthalpy. So that is how the sling psychometer is very useful in trying to extract many properties from the P chart. So friends, with this we will now proceed with different processes one can trace or fix on the psychometry chart. So we have a psychometry chart here, skeleton base, and on the x-axis we have a dry bulb temperature in the increasing nature from left end to the right end, and on the y-axis we have a specific humidity in kg per kg of dry air moving upward in increasing order. And then we have a saturation line along which the relative humidity is 100%, and then let's say that we have a sample of moisture indicated by this red dot, and we see that on the y-axis we have specific humidity symbolically represented as W or omega. By definition it is mass of vapor to that of mass of dry air, kg per kg of dry air. So we see that suppose if more amount of mass of vapor is added to this sample of moist air, then on the specific humidity the numerator value keeps increasing. As a result of this the specific humidity value increases. So that shows that the process which proceeds in the upward direction indicates addition of water vapor to the moist air. In other words, this is called as humidification. So humidification process. Let us imagine now the downward trend of this. Suppose the sample of moisture, if we keep extracting the mass of vapor from the sample of moist air, then the numerator value keeps decreasing for a given value of dry air, and therefore we see that the specific humidity value keeps decreasing. So therefore this process which is heading towards the lower end indicates the extraction of moisture, which is called as a dehumidification process. It is called as a dehumidification process. That means extraction of vapor mass from the sample of moist air. Likewise, we have a moisture, and the process is proceeding towards the right end at constant specific humidity value, then we see that this indicates the increase in the dry bulb temperature, which is also called as sensible heating as the temperature is increasing. So let us now imagine the reverse process, where we see the moist air sample is now heading towards the left end, that which shows that at constant specific humidity what we see is the temperature keeps decreasing, therefore we call this as a sensible cooling process. Likewise, we have another process here heading the upward hill on the right end. So we see that the moist air sample is now increasing in specific humidity value. At the same time, it is also increasing in the dry bulb temperature. So therefore there is a heating that is continuing here along with the humidity. Therefore this process is called as heating and humidification. Likewise, we see that we have one more process here in the downhill trend, where we see that the temperature is increasing, at the same time the specific humidity value is decreasing. Therefore we say that it is heating come dehumidification, or it is also called as chemical dehumidification. Moving further, we have another process here heading in the upward hill direction on the left end. So where we see the moist air sample is now increasing in temperature, at the same time the specific humidity value also increasing. So that shows that temperature is decreasing as we move from the left end. So temperature is decreasing, that is a cooling process. At the same time, moisture is getting added here as it in the upward direction. Therefore this is cooling plus humidification process, or it is also called as evaporative cooling process. And the last one, we have downhill trend towards the left end. The sample of moisture, as it proceeds from towards the left end, the downward hill direction toward the left side, we see that the temperature is decreasing. That means a cooling is taking place. At the same time, specific humidity value also is decreasing, which gives us an idea that the presence of vapor in the given moist air is decreasing. Therefore this is cooling cum dehumidification. It is cooling cum dehumidification process. So friends, so we have different process been identified on a psychometric chart here. The summary of that is shown here. So with this we have come to the end of today's lecture. In today's lecture we have seen the salient features pertaining to psychometric chart at 1 atmospheric pressure, and then we have also had a feel of different processes one can identify on the psychometric chart. So with this we have come to the end of today's lecture. Thank you for your attention.